All right, so here y'all this is question number 10 out of 6.2. And so I'm going to read through the problem and see if we can't figure it out. It says in a random sample of 8 people, okay, so I know that my n is equal to 8. The mean commute time to work was 34.5 minutes. Okay, so my x bar is a 34.5, and the standard deviation was 7.3 minutes. So that is my sample standard deviation, y'all, because it would specify if it was the population standard deviation. Okay, and then they say we constructed a 95% confidence interval using the t distribution, and they found our confidence interval. It says after researching commute times to work, it was found that the population standard deviation was 9.7. Okay, so now we know that our sigma, my population standard deviation, is 9.7. We first want to find the margin of error and construct a 95% confidence interval using the standard normal distribution and with the appropriate calculations for a standard deviation that's known. Okay, so we're going to construct a 95% confidence interval. So because we want to find our margin of error, y'all, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use the formula for the margin of error, and it's this formula right here. So the error is the z-score corresponding with that 95% confidence interval times the sigma divided by the square root of n. Okay, so since my confidence interval is 95, let me show you how I'm going to find this value right here. So let me go to our next screen. I'm going to draw a normal curve. Okay, it's going to look something like this, right? I know it's not too pretty, but it's okay. We get the idea. And what we're looking for are these two values. One of them is going to be negative. One of them is going to be positive, so that the area inside that curve is 95%. And that's telling me that the area here in the middle. So remember, y'all, the area under the entire curve, 100%. In the middle, we have 95%. So we're left with 5%, or 0.05, to be divided amongst these two areas, right? So I got to divide that number by 2. That's giving me a 0.025. All that's telling me is that the area here in the green is 0.025, or the area there in the green is 0.025. So we're really looking for this value, but we can find this one pretty easy using our calculator, and this one is just going to be the positive of that value. So the way I'm going to do this piece, y'all, I'm going to go with the inverse norm, okay? Now what the inverse norm is telling me is if I know the area, what is the z-score, okay? So let me see. Let me go ahead and do this part of my calculator. So I'm going to turn my calculator on. Let me get out of here. Okay, so we're going to go second bars. We're going to go to inverse norm of 0.025. 25. And I'm coming up with a negative 1.96. Okay, so this number right here, negative 1.96. So this one's going to be a positive 1.96. Okay, it's the same value except it's just positive. All right, so now we just found that number. So we're going to go 1.96 times sigma, which is 9.7, divided by the square root of 8. This is going to give me my error. Okay, so let me grab my calculator again. 1.96 times 9.7 divided by the square root of 8. And I'm coming up with 6.72. So my error is 6.72, and it was asking me to go to 2 decimal places. And so I'm going to come back to my original problem right here, y'all, and I'm going to type in 6.72. And we got that part. Excellent. Okay, so now we want to find a 95% confidence interval using the standard normal distribution. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to upload it to my slide here. Okay, so now how do we find a 95% confidence interval? Remember, a couple of pieces of information we knew. We knew that n was 8. We knew that our x bar was 34.5. Our sigma, they told us later on, was 9.7. And our confidence interval was a 0.95 because it's 95%, right? So look, y'all, just having this info right here, we can make our confidence interval. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Come back to my calculator. I'm going to hit stat. I'm going to go to tests. I'm going to do my z interval test, okay? So let's see. We have some information here. Oh, let me go back because it was 9.7 and 34.5 are the two pieces of information that I know. So 9.7 for my population standard deviation, 34.5. My N is 8. My confidence level is 0.95. Okay, so I believe in these problems here, y'all, it's asked me to do one decimal place. So I would say my lower limit is 27.8 and my upper limit is 41.2. So 27.8 and 40, oh my gosh, I forgot. 41.2? Yeah, 41.2. Okay, and that's what I'm going to enter in over here. So here we go. 27.8, 27.8, and then 41.2, and we'll check it. All right. Okay, so now there is a last part. So let me take a screenshot of that. Back over here, upload that to my slide. Here we go. Okay, so it says, now we're trying to compare the two results. Okay, so let's compare those results. The confidence interval using the standard normal distribution is narrower. Okay, so y'all, an easy way to kind of do this, draw your number line, okay? I'm going to do these numbers, I'm going to do them in green. So I'm going to say, look, right about here, 27.8, right about here, 41.2, okay? Now, I'm going to do these numbers, I'm going to do them in red. So 28.4 would actually be somewhere over here to the right. 28.4. 40.6 would be smaller than that number, okay? So this is the one using the t distribution, and the one in the green is the one using the normal distribution. So when I look at my answer, it says the confidence interval using the standard normal distribution is narrower. Well, I know the one in the green is wider, so I know that that's not going to make sense. And choice B says the confidence interval using the standard normal distribution is the same. Well, I know they're not the same either. And now it says the confidence interval using the standard normal distribution has smaller, lower, and upper. No, it doesn't have smaller. They're actually bigger. Okay. So the confidence interval found using the standard normal distribution is wider. Yes, that's my choice. So right there, y'all, I'm going to pick choice D. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to pick choice D. I'm going to check it. And we got it, okay? So if y'all have any questions, please let me know.